In this video we're carrying on with my Porsche 996 to 991 GT3RS conversion, and if you remember in the last video we actually got the welding done, so the rear wheel arches and the sill have now been welded. So what I'm going to do is we're going to need to under seal that sill to protect it from the weather. Right, so let's cover it with under seal. So we'll let this one dry, this is the first coat, and then we'll do another coat, and then that's protected. And now it's time to get this door off yet again. I thought I'd done it for the last time, but of course I'm gonna have to get this off because I need to do the filler and smooth it all out just on the inside of the sill there and just on the bottom of the A-pillar. So yes, it's a case of remove this masking tape I put there and undo those bolts and hinges and take this door off yet again. So now we're on to the worst part, which is the sanding. So here I am just sanding down the original welds just to make them nice and flat so that I know where the filler needs to go, because yeah, there was a little bit of a delve where it actually welded it up. So yeah, it's not what I enjoy doing, it's got to be done. I'm moving on to the A-pillar. You can see me sanding and then I'm feeling with my fingers to feel for any ridges. That's the best way to do this. And after I've worn my fingers out using a sanding block, it's onto the orbital sander to give it that last blast. Next we need to get some filler prepared, so I like these pads I bought, look, so this is the pad with I think got 50 sheets in, so you just mix your filler on it and then you can throw your piece of paper away and start on the next one. Now I never know how much hardener to put on here. It's usually a Peter golf ball measurement, but this says half a tube to half a tub of filler, but I don't know. I just banged a load on there and it seemed to be about right, and you'll soon know, because if it hardens too quickly you put too much on. Now if you look there, I'm squashing it in and flattening it down. That's better than just sort of stirring it around to get some of the air bubbles out, to make it nice, ready to use on the car. And keep going until it's all one colour. So now we take the mixed filler to the car and just blast on over the areas that it needs to be. So yeah, there's quite a bit there to do over the welds. It's pretty hard getting it flat, but you know, try and get it as flat as you can, because that's going to cut down the amount of sanding you need to do afterwards. It's even worse trying to get it round a curve like that with a flat applicator like I've got, but yeah, I'm trying my best and get it around the edges and everywhere I can. So while this is now drying, I can go and work on the front wing and the sill, the door sill, on the other side and get that refitted. To be honest, these wings line up pretty nicely with the original door. It's just a matter of just feathering it in and just making sure it don't catch the door when I open it. And once I'm happy, tighten it at the top, and then I'm going to go underneath now and get the bolts into the inner wing part. Now that the wing's in place, it's time for the sill. So the sill actually kind of grips at the front end there, and I can go to the back and put original bolts in, and they'll just hold the sill at the back, where I can come up here and just get it all squared up. Now I've drilled a hole through the sill and I've put a riv nut in the top part of it so I can actually connect it to the wing at the bottom there and hold it nicely in place. So looking at the back again, I'm trying to get this to line up properly with the rear quarter, but it's just not meeting it together and I'm not happy. And you can see there me thinking, nah, I've got to do something here. Something needs to be done. Right guys, I didn't bore you with it all, but look at the state of me. Oh my word. This rear quarter here has now been off and on 100 times, I would say. So yeah, it's I think I'm happy with where it is now. So this bit, once it's bonded down, yeah, there's a little bit of work. I have to put a bit of filler just to make that edge up, but that is in line with that, which is what the main thing I need to do. We also need to make sure that this seam here runs nice and tight with the actual rear quarter, and that carries on with this bit here running nice and tight with the rear quarter, which it does. So now we've got the front wing on. That hasn't been fully lined up with the bonnet as yet, because I'm waiting until I get the other wing on after I've sanded down the filler over there and the bumper and everything. But this is now lined up nicely to the door here. Can do to come out a little bit here, but that's fine. I've put a bolt through there. I could pull this forward and bolt it to the sill, and it does need to come forward slightly, look by the sill there. So I can pull that forward slightly and bolt that on. What I've then done with the sill is I've got the sill level with the original sill of the car, like that. Because what I'm hoping to do is to bond down there and get this nice and level. So when you open the door, this just comes out straight into my sill here as one complete unit. That meant I had to do a lot of work on the bottom end of this. So as you can see with the dust, I've done loads and loads of work on here. So I've had to shave off a bit of this at the bottom of here to get this to mate with the sill, which it now does absolutely beautifully. It's just, there's no gap at all down there. So whether I fill that in as well and make it look one complete panel, may do. I'll see what it's like down here when we actually get this bonded on. But yeah, this now has joined to the rear bumper, and that joins nicely there. I've put bolts under there to hold that in place. So for me, this rear quarter is in the exact position I want it to be in, and that's all the work it takes. I've got to say, honestly, I've been about 4 hours doing this, so that's what it takes to get this right. Now, I've also got to do the other rear quarter, but I won't bore you with that. I'll crack on and do that another day now, I think, because I'm sick of working on this. So I think my next job is going to be sanding. So let's get the sander out and crack on with that. Yeah, so it's out again with the orbital sander to take off the thick of it and just try and get it cut down. So it just needs some hand sanding at the end of it. But to be honest, it took a lot of sanding after this because there's so many curves and angles in this little bit here. And I really wanted to get this right, because every time you open the door, you're going to see this step. And I want to make sure that it's as flat and as straight as it can be. So between the last clip and this clip, there was about an hour or more where I've actually been sanding and put a bit more filler on and sanded it again. But now I'm cleaning it down because I'm going to get ready to actually primer it. So I obviously need to protect the interior here, so I'm starting the masking up. I've pushed the carpet back and I'm banging this masking tape between the carpet and the actual sill. Right, put some glazing putty on there now to make it nice and smooth, and that's looking pretty good. What we're going to do is now I'm just going to mask all this off and put some paper in the way so I can spray all of this new sill and make it look a bit nicer. And that of course will expose loads more lumps and bumps, but Body Shop can make this perfect when they get it. So yeah, covering the parts I don't want to be covered in overspray with paper. Right, we've got some 2K high build primer, so it's time to just give this a bit of a blasting. First coat complete, we'll let that dry, and then we'll hit it with another coat.
20 minutes later.
Second coat. Well, for my first attempt at doing a bit of bodywork, I'm quite happy with that. And yeah, so we're going to leave that now. I'm going to leave that overnight to dry, and when I come back tomorrow we're going to crack on, and we'll now be able to get that front end completely back dry fitted again, and also work on this rear quarter to get this baby fitting exactly as I want it to fit. That's a whole night for me to wait, but for you it's instant. So yeah, we need to get the right hand wing in place now. That's got to go over the fuel filler, and just getting that lined up. And it's actually changed the alignment now because we've got the sill in place underneath, and I can see exactly where it should be. My door wasn't aligned before, so therefore the bottom of the wing was further in than it should have been, which altered the whole shape of it really. So I'm having to do a little bit of work to get that sorted, and what I found is one of the mounting points, the hole, just needed re-drilling because it needed to be a bit further in than it was. So I just did put it back in place and get underneath, and there's 3 bolts under there that need to secure it. So now I'm thinking, well, now I've got the wings on, I may as well get the front bumper on and just get that all lined up before I carry on working on the sill for the right hand side. So I'm then bolting the front bumper to the left hand wing there, and I'm finding, well I find in a moment when I stand up and look at it, that it's actually pulled out of alignment a little bit. It's not lining up with the right hand side once I've got the left hand side in place. So again, I've got to scratch my head and think, what have I done wrong? What's happened? What's changed? So what has changed is that the driver's door has now been aligned correctly after the welding, and yeah, the right hand wing has changed in its position, so therefore it's knocking everything out a little bit. So I've got something wrong and I can't figure it out, so I keep looking and I keep looking, and then I discover what it is. So surprising when you come to fit this front bumper again for like the second dry fit, that you realise this bracket on the front here has got a slot under there where the bumper is supposed to fit. Now you see in the first fitting, I didn't do that, I put it over the top, but now when I put it in there, it fits a lot nicer. Yeah, this was totally my mistake, but don't forget when I got this car, it didn't have a front bumper, so I've not dismantled the original one to see how it was fitted. That also means these are going to line up a bit better once we bring the bumper up. So if I bring the bumper up here, then these bits are going to go down because they need bolting down there yet. I'm waiting to get the light fittings in before I secure these bits here, because this light tray also secures under there. So I'm not fully mounting this or these bolts here until I get my lights. Exactly the same on this side. This part is loose because I don't know exactly where it's going to go, but this now lands up nicely there. Once we lift the bumper up here, then that almost lands up on its own. That is part of the idea with these kits, is you need them to actually lay in the place that they're supposed to be. You shouldn't be forcing this kit and bending it and twisting it to fit, you know, by bolting it down at one end and twisting it and bolting it at the other. That means something's not fitting right. So a bit of extra time, cut a bit off here, cut a bit off there, just nice to do it until it fits nicely like this does. Right, let's get this bolted on. So it didn't go all to plan, it still wouldn't sort of fit properly. It was a little bit high on the right hand side, but what I found is that bracket I just talked about that the bumper slides into, that's adjustable. So what I did, I took it all off, which I haven't shown here, and I lowered the bracket on the right hand side, and then boom, it all fit way better. Right, front end is on and now it's back. It's time to have a go at this rear quarter. Wish me luck. So let me show you the issue I have with these rear quarters that I had to do a lot of work on the other side. So if you look down here, so I've got the sill nicely level there with the bottom of the duct. So I'm going to fill that so it actually makes it like it's one piece. And as we come back here, this is now in the right position. But look at the rear quarter. Look how long it is. It's way, way too long to actually go to the top of that. And it's in the right position because if you go too much higher here, it might be a little bit of movement there, I don't know. But if you go too much higher, then this ain't gonna mould with the car itself. So it's a case of we need to remove this rear quarter and we've got to cut some off here diagonal. Now, I think it kind of meets there. We'll have to see. What I need to do is loosen this bolt here, loosen it from there, and just see how I can get it to fit here. And yet again with another 25-30 times on and off, on and off, on and off, sanding, on and off sanding of this rear quarter. We've now got it fitting up nicely down here. Just needs pushing in there, but that'll get pushed in when it's bonded. But it's now fitting nicely down here. I think this sill could do to just go that way a couple of mil, because we've got an overhang here. So if we bring the sill that way a little bit, it's also set in at that end. So therefore, yeah, the whole sill just coming that way, a couple of mil, will square that end up and square this end up. So guys, for you, that's enough. So for this video, that's going to be enough for you. So for this video, that's going to be enough for you guys to take in. Me just messing around body panels, it's boring, I know, but I'm just showing you this is what it needed to be done to get these body kits to fit. You see a lot of these channels that just chuck the body kits on and say, oh yeah, they're fitting perfectly. And no, there's a lot of work involved. I'm going to go away now, I'm going to really battle about with this kit and hopefully get it fitting, you know, 99%. Body shop can do the extra bit, but I want to do as much sort of filling and prepping and priming as I can before it goes to the body shop, because I want to really cut those costs down. A lot of the costs are going to be labour and man hours in a body shop. If I can do a lot of that work, that is going to save me a lot of money, and basically they'll just have to do a nice bit of priming, just a little bit of flattening off, and then they can paint it, and that's really what their job is. Oh, and also I just think I may have a colour in mind, but I'm not going to reveal that just yet. So guys, if you enjoyed this, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give me a big thumbs up this video. It all helps with the analytics and helps me to grow this channel so I can bring bigger and better car builds to you. Thanks for watching, stay safe.